I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. Going to continue. I'm making some chicken and rice today. So I had to actually defrost my chicken, and I'm a pressure cooker person. So I have cooked for 25 minutes 4 chicken legs, and I'm hoping that it's all done. So we'll see. Now I'm just going to debone it. Let's see if you can see. I probably could have cooked it about, I don't know, 5 more minutes. It probably would have fallen off the bone a little bit better, but it's okay. I'm gonna debone it and put it back into my my pressure cooker here. Actually, it's a multi-purpose cooker. You can steam it. You can steam vegetables like rice. You can brown meat. You can pressure cook high and low. So when I get done with this, I will actually put in a feature where I can bring it to a boil and finish making my chicken and rice. So let's see here. So yeah, it probably could have used about 5 more minutes and it would have just completely fallen off the bone, but it's okay. I'm going to continue cooking it. So usually for me, I just like to cut it into bite-sized pieces. So that's all I'm doing. And when I make chicken and rice or chicken and pastry, I always use dark meat. I never use the breast meat because it's just, the breast meat is just too dry. You don't get the flavor that you do when you use dark meat. So that's why I'm using the chicken legs today. So now we're just going to put that back in there. Make sure there's no bones. I'm going to put that back there, and then I will save this for making stock at a different time. It was funny when growing up, my grandmother, my mother's mother, when she would make chicken and pastry or chicken and rice, she would just cook the chicken and she wouldn't debone it. So however many people she was cooking for, if there were 6 people, she put 6 chicken legs in there. And so each plate got a chicken leg, and you just had to debone it yourself. So it was a little bit easier, but I don't know, for me, when my kids were small, I just started taking it off the bone and kind of putting it all back in there, and you could just scoop it out and not have to deal with the bone. So I'm going to be back. I have 3 more legs to debone, and I'll be back. Hello, I'm back, and I have deboned all of my chicken. And so here it is. This is the meat and the juices from 1 cup of water and 4 chicken legs. And now the fun part is I'm going to start putting my spices, some salt, some pepper, some dill, some thyme, some more chicken flavoring, and some stock. And of course, 3 cups of rice is what I'm going to do. So we're going to start off with putting some pepper. Very important. If you are cooking some chicken and rice or chicken and pastry, very important that you are, I think my music is too loud. Hold on. Sorry about that. I don't know what in the world is going on, but sometimes it's like the TV will just get louder and louder without, you know, I had to turn it up. So anyway, we'll put a little bit of salt in here. And if you know anything about me, I don't really measure. I just eyeball it. I don't know, I just do. Sometimes if I'm not familiar with a spice, I've kind of gotten to the place where I can just smell it. This is dill weed. This is fresh from my garden. It's one of my favorite. I just use it in so many salads, any kind of chicken dish. You can use it in any kind of poultry, fish, but it just smells so good. But I've gotten to the point where I usually can just smell a spice and I can say, I think that'll be good in there. So again, I'm just going to put a little dash, maybe 3 little dashes, because we're going to do about 3 cups today. And then I want to do some thyme. Let's see what we've got here. I'm dropping everything all over the place. Some celery salt. Oh, guys, this did not come from my garden. But again, I love it. Good in poultry. So just a little dash will do you. We're going to do some ground thyme. And thyme is kind of strong, so I'm not going to quite put as much of that in there. And I think that's where I'm going to stop for right now. Some people would put like some hot spices in there, some red pepper flakes or something like that. I'm not going to do that. Now we're going to go to the pantry and we've got to pick out what kind of stock that I'm going to use. Gosh, I'm not sure. I've got some chicken stock. I could use that. I mean, that's a given. But let's see. I also have some turkey stock that I need to use. So, let me think what I'm going to do. I think I might do a little combination. I'm going to do some chicken and some turkey and see how it turns out. Because my turkey, I really have been thinking I needed to use it. I canned that, and that was back in 2023. So my husband just was able to get 2 bucks. He shot 2 bucks last night, so we're getting ready to get a whole bunch of venison again. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go ahead and use that. I'll go ahead and use maybe half and half. And of course, anytime I can, anything, you always want to look at it, you want to smell it, and you want to, you know, just kind of make sure that it smells fresh. And this absolutely does. So I'm going to put about half a jar of that. And then I'm going to open up my chicken stock, and we're going to do the same thing. Oh yeah, that smells so good. So we're going to put half a jar of that. Okay. And then I'm just going to mix the two. And I will use that in another type of soup at some point throughout the week. So we'll do that. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and start this, put my rice in here, and I will be back when I get ready to get done with it. Okay, y'all, I am back, and I actually am going to set a timer. I just put my rice in my little crock pot multi-purpose cooker, and I'm going to set a timer for about 20 minutes is what I'm thinking. We'll set that, we'll get that going, and then now is kind of the fun part. You know, you just, after it starts cooking, you just kind of want to give it a taste test, and you want to be able to kind of get the flavor that you want. I always start out with a few spices, the basic salt and pepper, but I'm going to throw some of this. This is also one of my favorite go-tos for seasoning, and it's Knorr, and it comes in these big blocks like this. So depending on what you're doing and how much, you know, how many vegetables that you're trying to season or whatever, I'm going to throw in the whole cube. So why not? Can't get too much flavor. So anyway, this is very different than like the very hard bouillon cubes. It's very soft, so you can actually crumble it in there. It's still dry, but it's definitely not like the hard bouillon cubes that you can buy, you know, like generic brands and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put that in there. A couple other things that you can do. You can take like cream of chicken soup. You can put a can of that in there if you want to thicken it up. I've done that before and it's okay. Another thing, I'm not going to do it tonight because actually I'm going to be giving half of this chicken and rice to my mother-in-law. Actually my bonus mother. She is kind of under the weather right now, so I'm going to give her some of that, and I'm not sure that she would like some of the additions that I would like to put in my chicken and rice soup, but sometimes I'll put boiled eggs. I'll slice up boiled eggs in there, and oh my gosh, it's just so good. Some people would put onions or garlic. I don't know, from the South, we just kind of keep it simple. Chicken and rice with all of the bouillon and the chicken flavor, the poultry flavor. So that's, you know, that's the thing, is you can make it however you like it. If you want it spicy, you can make it spicy. We're just not real spicy people, so I'm not going to do that. But again, I have played around with it before and put some eggs in there, some boiled eggs, and that was really, really good. Actually, my rice is thickening up, so I have to put some more broth because it's not ready to be done. And, you know, again, maybe if I kind of worked this out where I measured everything, it would be perfect, but that's just not how I roll. So I'm just going to add what I need. We're going to thicken it up a little bit because I've got 3 cups of white long grain rice in here. That's another way you can change it up. If you wanted to put brown rice in here, you know, any other kind of rice that is your favorite kind of rice. The only thing is, if you're using brown rice, you probably will have to let it slow cook so it can cook a lot longer, because brown rice definitely takes a lot longer to cook. So I'm just kind of keeping this close by. And as my rice is cooking and the mixture is getting thicker, I'll just add what I need. So I'm just going to continue to let this simmer and cook, and when we get a little bit closer to the end, I'll be back and show you the finished product. Hopefully by then. Maybe I'll be back before then. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, y'all. So we are moving on with my chicken and rice. I have just gotten to the place, it continues to get thicker and thicker, so I have actually added more bouillon. This is all I've got left from 2 quart jars. Don't think I need to add any more right now, but I did turn the temperature down. I turned it down to a slow cook because the rice is pretty much almost completely cooked, but now I'm going to do a taste test. And I'm going to add some more stuff. So I've got some parsley. I'm going to put a little bit of parsley in there. Not a lot. Just going to put a little bit. Okay. You might have to add a little bit of that. I'm going to kind of stir that in a little bit. And this stuff is so hot. Let me show you what it looks like here. Here we go. So today here in North Carolina, where we live, it's been raining like all day. So I had already been thinking that I wanted to make something of comfort, you know, some kind of comfort food. So on a rainy day, I always think about chicken noodle soup, or I think about chicken and rice soup. So that's what we're doing today. And then, like I said earlier, my bonus mom, she has been under the weather, and so I'm going to try to bless her with some soup, and maybe this will make her feel better. I hope so. But anyway, yeah, it's getting pretty thick. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in there, you know, because there's really nothing I can do with just that little bit left over. So now I can wash my jar and I can be done with it. And I'm just going to let this cook on slow cook for maybe about 30 minutes, which will be perfect because it's about 4:29. Then that way I can have dinner on the table by 5 o'clock. So anyway, let's do a little taste test and let's see where we're at. And depending on and because I've added more broth, I'm probably going to have to add more salt. That's usually the thing. Once you start adding more liquid, usually you'll have to add more salt. So we'll give it a whirl and see. It's very, very hot. Yep, it needs some more salt. But not much. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. I'm a little surprised, and it definitely needs some more pepper. That is the thing with anything like chicken and pastry or chicken and rice, it just, for some reason, it just soaks up the salt and it soaks up the pepper. So I'm going to just go and I'm going to put about the same amount that I had started with. But, you know, the old saying goes, you can add more, but you can't take it out, right? To make it less salty, I'd have to put more broth, and we don't want to do that. So it's always good to kind of start out with a base, and then you can always add it later. But we're going to stir that in really good. I'm actually going to put some more of that, and I think I'm going to put a little bit more dill. This is just how I roll, guys. Just like to add a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we'll see what we got. Let's see here. It smells really good. That's the only drawback with doing these videos is I want to share them with you. It would be so nice if you could come and sit at the table with me and we could have a cup of tea and, you know, a bowl of chicken and rice. But we can't do that. I'm hoping that maybe somehow I can inspire somebody, instead of going out to eat, take a few minutes, because it's only going to take me about an hour total time to get all of this done. So let's take one more taste test, and I think we're going to be good. That's good. Alrighty. Alright, guys, let me show you the final product we've got right here. Let me get a bowl here. Let me see. I'll put you back up here so I can show you. We're gonna put some of this in a bowl. There we go. It looks so good. And again, all I've got is rice, my spices. I've got 4 chicken legs, 2 quarts of broth, cup of water. Look at that. Let me get my spoon here. Rainy day food right there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you'll make you some chicken and rice. Have a good one. Be blessed, and may the Lord give you peace today.